Geelong Advertiser T20 Cup Division 1 Grand Final with Newtown about to commence their run chase here this afternoon. 188 they need to win, and the first ball is pulled away for 4 runs. That's a great start. Josh joining me in commentary. Josh, that's a hell of a way to start the run chase.
Very good start. Not the greatest of deliveries to start the innings off, but vacant fine leg region whacked away.
Well, we've been talking all through the day about Newtown, the fact that they haven't set a total for this whole competition, and they've chased down just about every score that's come their way. And this is probably this is certainly the biggest total they've had to chase this year. But they've got the batting lineup to do it. Yeah,
powerful batting unit, isn't it? If any team can chase it down, it is Newtown. So it really set up for a great chase after the Ross Elliott masterclass.
Well, it was quite an experience to sit here for that. I've just gone over to the scorecard to get the details of that, and we'll run through that in a moment. A drive through the covers. That looks like it'll be another 4. So Newtown really going to have a run at this score. That's a great way to start. Opening boundaries off the first 2 deliveries, and really setting a message here to Geelong City that we fancy our chances of running down your score. As we see the next delivery of this first over just pushed into the covers, and they get through for a single, and it's a single to Graham Clark, who's hits 9 off the first 3 balls. That's not a bad way to start, and he's out there with his partner at the moment, who's taking block. And the next delivery in this first over of the run chase, and it's just pushed through the gully region off the edge of the bat for a single, and that's a single to George Chisholm, the captain, opening the batting with Graham Clark here this afternoon. And they put together a fairly handy partnership on Tuesday night, Josh. They took East Belmont's bowlers to the cleaners. As we see this next delivery, and it's just played through the gully again by Clark, and they're back for a direct hit,
bit of fielding.
And that is out. What a magnificent piece of fielding from the outfield, and Clark has been run out going for the second run. That is huge, Josh.
That's an extraordinary bit of fielding from deep backward point in the end. Direct hit from the boundary, and that is a huge record. Just about to say Graham Clark's the man that Newtown want to get off to a good start, and he's the one who comes out and really takes the attack to the bowlers. He sort of took 9 off his first 3 deliveries, but took a special bit of cricket to dismiss him.
That was an absolutely beautiful piece of fielding, and we'll pick up who that fieldsman was out there, because a direct hit is absolutely fantastic. Henry Collins, beg your pardon. Henry Collins out there doing some of his best work. And the Newtown next batsman coming in, Shane Murdoch, coming in at number 3. And that's probably not the start that Newtown wanted, although the first 3 or 4 balls of the over were spectacular in terms of runs, but you don't want to be losing wickets this early in a T20 contest.
No, absolutely not. And as I say, Clark was their man to get them off to a very quick start to chase down what is a very, very competitive total, and to get him out so cheaply with a special bit of cricket. That's just a great start for the Sharks. Might be their day.
And I wonder if that's the pressure of the run rate too. You know, when you're chasing 188, you've got to make the most of every opportunity, and then maybe just being a little bit too opportunistic there, and just staying on the one and trying to chase for that second to keep the scoreboard ticking over.
Yep, absolutely. Just a great bit of fielding. The 2 was probably on, to be fair. It was just a terrific arm, and very accurate, of course.
And direct hits are always like that, though, aren't they? That they're always going to have you in a bit of trouble. So off the bat, I think, no, wide is the call from the umpire there, so not touching anything. So that one will have to be re-bowled again. And off to an average start, I think it's fair to say, City. Newtown, they've got some runs on the board, but lost that early wicket of Clark. That's certainly very costly towards the overall result here. So waiting on the next delivery. Chisholm down over the bat at the moment. He's a big lad too. And this one he's driving straight back at the bowler, straight down the ground. Will it get through one fielder? It does, through his own fielding. That looks like Marsland there making the fielding there and cutting that off, but they get a single. So that's one more to the Newtown total. And nice to see the weather's actually lifting a bit. The cloud cover's been fairly dominant this morning, but the sun's trying very hard to break through. Oh yeah, Noel Fanning sticking to his original forecast there, the Bureau of Fano, and he's saying that the clouds are too high, so there's no chance of any rain. As it looks like that might be Adam Marsland coming into the attack from the, we're calling it the Barwon Heads end because I couldn't think of anything else at the time.
I was just thinking, sorry, Mark, just to jump in, I was thinking of poor Ross Elliott. He's just absolutely whacked 130, and he would be tuckered out hitting those big bombs, and he has to crouch down for the next 20 overs and keep wicket.
He's a big man for a wicket keeper, isn't he?
He is.
Wouldn't be many taller going around that keep wicket. Yeah, so he's going to really be heading towards the ice bath today. Marsland's about to come in now from the Barwon Heads end, and he's bowling to Chisholm, who clips that off the edge of the bat, goes down to third man, and they collect a single. So one more to Newtown. And yeah, as you say, it's a tough gig being a wicket keeper at the best of times, but when you've just made 100 odd and hit to all parts of the compass, it's a long day.
Absolutely. See, no slips now for Geelong City. Just Ross Elliott, and then we speak of only man behind the wicket really for City here. Very, very straight field set.
Well, I think with a score like 189, I don't think there's much use in trying to get wickets. I think it's just a matter of conserving runs and not giving them away. As Marsland down the leg side again, the umpire will call that a wide. He'll have to bowl that again. I don't think it's going to matter in the early stages of the game how many wickets you take. I think it's more a fact of putting pressure on the scoreboard and keeping them to a reasonable level, so that they're not sort of meeting the run rate that they need to meet.
Yep, absolutely. And the two men out there allowed in this power play, just both behind the wicket, as I mentioned, deep fine leg, and third man on the boundary as well.
Murdoch's on strike and he's driving, but straight to mid-on, and there's no score. Well fielded. And speaking of well, you're always feeling a bit well when you head to the Elephant Castle Hotel. And Jackpot Trivia is on every Wednesday from 7:30 with a palmy in a pot, just $20. I'm not sure what's better, the trivia or the palmy in the pot.
Always lean towards the palmy in the pot, Mark.
I think the palmy in the pot's getting the thumb up from around the commentary box here. Marsland with his next delivery. And this is driven down the ground, fielded by the fieldsman at mid-on, and they get through for another single. Yes, I don't mind a good trivia night myself, actually. A bit of a trivia buff. So I might have to get to the Elephant Castle and check out the trivia night there and see if I can pick up the prize.
So you can see the plan here from Geelong City. It's pretty plain to see they've set a very straight field, and Marsden's bowling full and straight at the stump. So he's trying to force the two Newtown batsmen to try and hit through the field and hit to the longest part of the field.
Chisholm on strike, just guides that one through where first or second slip would be, down to the third man position where it's fielded, and they're through for another run. So we've seen a little bit of a slowing of the run rate here in recent balls compared to that opening of 9 off the first 3 balls, and that wicket obviously has had a lot to do with it. So City are bowling very, very well here at the moment. Marsland's found the spot as he comes in again now to Murdoch, and Murdoch is just trying to glide that through the slips position, but he only succeeds in missing it and going through to Ross Elliott. And just having a look at Murdoch's season, this is the this for him in terms of his season. He's having a reasonable season. He made 21 in round 2 of this competition as Marsland's in again, and Murdoch is tucking it round the corner to square leg, and they're through for a single. Yeah, so he's averaging 16 in the competition this year. Had a couple of starts, a 19 and a 15, and a 21's his top score for the competition. So he'll be looking to build on that. And then you look at Chisholm, who hasn't really done much batting, and probably for a top order batsman has probably struggled a little bit. Top of score of 35 in the game against East Belmont on Tuesday night, so he'd be looking to, as captain, be looking to make a big contribution here today.
A lot rests on him now, especially with Clark being dismissed so early. He's really got to not drop the anchor, but be the anchor for the innings.
As Murdoch faces, and he plays that one out into mid-wicket. And Logan Taylor is the bowler from the Barwon Heads end. Of course, 5 overs from one end, they swap to the other end for another 5 overs, then back again and back again in this T20 competition. Real time saver that. Only the umpires and the batsmen have to move. As Logan Taylor comes in again now, it's clipped off the pads by Murdoch, and great fielding out there again. Could have been another direct hit and another wicket. They do get through for the single. So one more goes to Shane Murdoch. And Logan Taylor is the bowler.
Yeah, moves them on to 1 for 20, but again, I stressed it, this plan they've got, they're just going to bowl full and straight at the stumps and try to will the Newtown batsman to try and hit through it.
Logan, that's a big hit from Chisholm, and that will be just taking one bounce inside the boundary rope and 4. Thought for a second there it was going to be 6, but just bouncing right in front of the rope there. But a powerful shot just the same.
Yep, very Ross Elliott-esque, wasn't it? Saw him play a couple of those today over towards that side of the mid-wicket ground.
Here we go. Logan Taylor coming in again to bowl to Chisholm, and Chisholm's driving this time, but just manages to drive it straight back to the bowler. And a change in commentary.
Thanks very
Wes Cusworth.
Thanks
Welcome.
very much, Mark. Yes, sorry. To those people that are viewing the live stream, we apologise for the technical issues that have led to the very late picking up of the coverage, but hope you're enjoying it nonetheless. I hope you enjoy it moving forward as Logan Taylor's in now and Chisholm. That's a full ball that he gets away backward of square, and that's going to race away to the boundary here at South Barwon. 4 runs. Takes full toll of that full ball. Just looking at the Geelong City innings, Josh Conway, of course, made reference to the Ross Elliott innings. An amazing innings of 133. It's just an extraordinary knock. 10 sixes and 9 fours. That coming from 69 balls, which was quite outstanding. And, of course, he was supported by Richie Oliver with 30. And that particular tally for the Geelong City Sharks is quite the 187. So as young Taylor continues in, runs away from the commentary position, and that's a nice shot by Chisholm. Can't beat the man at mid-off. Nice dive by R.K. Oliver, and almost affects the run out at the keeper's end, and the ball not taken cleanly, and they'll scramble back for a second. So plenty of entertaining cricket. Josh Conway, great to have you as part of our commentary today.
Thank you, Wes. Thanks very much. Been over at the GCA 3 grand final a little bit earlier, hence my late arrival, but Alexander Thompson winners over there against Warren Ponds, 2 teams who aren't going to trouble anyone for the 2-day premiership this year, but good to see those 2 sides getting into the T20 grand final and pretty comfortable in the NAT, defending a lowish total, ended up winning by 55 runs, a pretty consistent and accurate bowling performance from them, leading them to the flag.
What about that bowling effort by the man of the match, Abhishek? 6 for 23 from his spell as Marsland's into Murdoch, and this one is just catching him unawares a little bit there on that occasion. Looked like he might have tried to get it away through the onside, but nice and tight by Marsland, not offering any sort of width at all, and proving pretty difficult to get away. 1 for 30 is Newtown and Chilwell in pursuit of 187. And as I made mention earlier, Josh, it's a formidable tally to be chasing down in a one-day game, in a T20 game.
Yeah, anything over 150 at this sort of level, Wes, is usually a target that's pretty steep for any side. And this Newtown side, it is power-packed, but it's going to be a tough chase for sure.
Marsland in again, and this one's guided away. In fact, not particularly cleanly, but just bunted almost away to point, and they take the 1 single. So thanks to our sponsors, as Marcus made mention throughout the course of the coverage. The sponsors include the Geelong Advertiser. This is the Geelong Advertiser Cup, Buxton Real Estate, Pizzas with Attitude, Ritchie Brothers Auctioneers, Home House Nightclub, Elephant Castle Hotel, and Connectel. So it's great to have businesses of a local nature getting behind our live stream coverage, and hopefully it's something that we can look forward to more as we move forward, as Chisholm is taking the next ball from Marsland, getting that away forward of Solomaki at square leg. They'll take one, they'll come back for a second, will be pulled up just inside the line, and they come back for 3 runs. So Chisholm scoring pretty freely at this particular point in time, which is clearly what is necessary, Josh.
Yep, wonderful bit of timing that from the Two Blues captain, just on his hip. Wonderful shot just in front of square. They see Marsden's just pulled his length back a little bit this over, and Chisholm exploiting that a little bit, just back of a length and easing it through square leg.
So Marsland past the umpire again, bowls to Murdoch. This one, he's trying to get away through the offside field, and once again Marsland just not offering any sort of width, so the batsman needing to be a little bit creative with regard to their getting the ball off the square.
Yep, he's bowling, as I mentioned before, Wes, he's bowling very straight. All the Geelong City bowlers, it looks like, are going to bowl at the stumps at a very straight field and try to make Newtown make their mistakes, trying to hit through the infield. I think that's the plan. And Marsland, being the wise head he is and terrific bowler, he's just pulled his length back a little bit here. Went full in his first over, just gone back of a length in this second.
Chisholm is banking the next ball over mid-on, so Logan Taylor in pursuit, but he will not be able to pull that one in, and that is 4 runs. Goes all the way. Fine shot by Chisholm, and moves the Newtown and Chewell tally to 1 for 39, and still quite a bit of work to be done. So reasonable sort of standard contest there, Josh, between the Warren Ponds boys and Alexander Thompson. Unfortunately, Michael Cox looked to have done a bit of an injury over there.
Yeah, I saw that. That was his first T20 game since December 2015, would you believe it? For the big Coxie. Yeah, he looked a bit lame in the post-match.
Chisholm is working the next ball backward of point, opening the face of the bat, and concedes just the 1 run. And I sense that Geelong City won't be too perturbed by singles. That is the end of the Marsland over. The score is 1 for 40 for the Two Blues in pursuit of 187. If you've just joined us, thank you so much for being a part of our live stream contribution today, and we do thank Pizzas with Attitude, Dare to Be Different, the Elephant and Castle Hotel, Jackpot Trivia every Wednesday from 7:30 p.m. A palmy and pot just $20, and my co-commentator Mark Brunger and I might be heading along there on Wednesday night. He's a trivia fan. Of course, Home House, Geelong's premier nightclub, is supporters of our live stream coverage, along with Ritchie Brothers, offering a huge selection of earth-moving and transport equipment for auction, and Connectel, a recognised leader in providing complete communication solutions to businesses of all sizes. So the action continues with Driver, I think it is, bowling from the commentary end, and gets the thumbs up from Dave Neal, the president of Geelong City, and nice tight delivery to begin with.
Speaking of tight, Wes, that shirt around Big Tom's just getting a little bit tighter as the weeks go by. He's looking a bit more like Brock Lesnar than Tom Driver these days.
He's a good, strong lad, the Enigma. He's in again past the umpire, and Chisholm is pushing this one a bit off, and there's no single on offer there. And of course, the naming rights sponsor of the Geelong Cricket Association, Buxton. To enjoy a better real estate experience, contact Buxton Real Estate, major sponsor of the Geelong Cricket Association. Driver into Chisholm. And this one he's hitting square to point, not able to beat the man. So really nice tight start by Tom Driver, Josh.
Yep, once again, as it looks to be the plan for the Sharks, just straight at the stumps, providing, bar that ball, providing no width to the Newtown batsmen, just making them force the issue, hit through the infield inside this first power play.
As this one is a slower ball by Driver, and Chisholm's keen for the run. The throw from point is a direct hit, but the man back at the ground, and then penalised by his own excellence there on that occasion, Josh.
Yeah, it's a good bit of field they're on. Looks to be in the field, the Sharks, another direct hit. That's 2 inside the first 6 overs, which you rarely see 2 in an innings, let alone 2 inside 6 overs. They're up for this, Geelong City. Really buoyed by that performance by Ross Elliott.
Well, I do hope that we can actually view post-game the Ross Elliott innings on Facebook, so that's something to look forward to, and I think that'll be something that he'll be able to look back on with great delight as Tommy Driver pulls out of that one. So 1 for 41, and Newtown and Chul in pursuit of 187 for victory. Plenty of work to be done. Driver in again. Bowls to Murdoch. Full ball. Has to dig it out. Nice diving effort by the Sharks. Logan Taylor prevents anything more than the one run. Now the wind's picked up a little bit here, Josh. I suspect that when we spin around and the bowling's coming from the other end, the batsman might like to go long with the wind.
Yeah, it's been pretty consistent, hasn't it? Wes has been a bit blowy all morning and all afternoon. Might even help the spinners bowling into it.
Yep. Full ball again. Chisholm gets this one out. It's a nice shot through the onside field. A couple of bounces over the boundary. 4 runs. It's the ideal way for the two Blues to finish that over. And they move along to 1 for 46.
Clever batting by Chisholm. Just the 2 men out, of course, inside this power play. They're both out on the leg side, and he picked that gap beautifully. There was a deep backward square leg and a deep mid-wicket. Oh, deep long on, really, and in the end that ball went over mid-wicket. So clever batting, picked his spot, went for it and executed. Good batting.
So 1 for 46 on the Ritchie Brothers scoreboard. Pizzas with attitude, using only the freshest seasonal ingredients prepared daily on the premises. Some good news for GCA players. Pizzas with attitude offering awards for Player of the Round moving forward, Josh. So everybody can be watching the Geelong Cricket Association Facebook page in anticipation of a bit of voting for the Player of the Round. Generated
Fantastic.
a bit of interest last year, didn't it?
Yeah. It's good to see local businesses getting behind the local cricket, Wes. Fantastic.
So this is Byron Taylor coming into the attack now. Byron's a medium pacer, nice and tidy. Like all the Sharks, bowls a good line and length. And that one's keeping a little bit low, and Murdoch not able to get any willow on that one at all. Had your own cricket go yesterday, Josh?
I just got pipped yesterday, Wes, by one of the grounds we're at, Marshall. At home yesterday. Just lost by a couple of wickets, unfortunately.
Taylor in again, bowls to Murdoch. This one outside off stump. Just a little bit sharper there on that occasion. Perhaps the young fella just loosening up a little bit. Beats Murdoch.
He's a handy all-round cricketer, Byron Taylor. He's played a bit of rep cricket around the traps over the last few years, and as you say, Wes, his medium pace is tight. It's a good way to describe it.
So Murdoch on strike. And that's a wide ball from Taylor, and it's a
Mosdin.
pretty handy take there on that occasion by Elliott. Made to work pretty hard for that one with the gloves.
I was saying to Mark before, he got a feel for the big Ross. He's swung his absolute limbs out, and then he has to go crash down for the next couple of hours or so behind the wicket.
Taylor past the umpire. This time Murdoch cuts to point. That's nice fielding. Limits to 1. Just a little fumble, but really probably saved a couple, I would have thought. So Murdoch rotates the strike. He moves along to 7 from 13. Chisholm is 27 from 16. Clark, our man, out. Run out by Collins. He was looking terrific after his even 100 yesterday in our regular competition. Graham Clark, he was out for 10 from 4 balls. A couple of boundaries in that. Chisholm on strike will face Taylor now, and this one is worked into the onside. They'll take 1. They'll think about a second. Chisholm's eager, Murdoch not so. And it's limited to just the 1 run. 1 for 49.
Run rate's not an issue at the moment, Wes. They're still going at a good clip despite the early loss of Clark, as you mentioned. They've been picking the gaps pretty well in Newtown, and they've run hard and hit the boundaries when needed.
Murdoch is having a dash at the one outside off stump, but beaten again. Just ball keeping a little bit low at this end, I suspect.
Looks that way, doesn't it? Not a lot of carry through to Ross Elliott, and perhaps a bit of off-speed. A few off-speed deliveries here from Taylor as well, just taking the pace off. And once again, if that pitch is a bit slow, making Newtown try to force the issue.
Fuller ball by Taylor and driven through the cover region by Murdoch for the 1 run. And that is the end of the Taylor over. That's the even 50 for Newtown and Chul. 1 for 50, chasing 187. And there's our lineups, our respective squads. We can see for the 2 Blues, George Chisholm, Graham Clark, Nick McGuire, Will Simpson, John Simpson, Eves Rossetti, Mitch Davis, Jackson Davis, Mitch not playing, Cooper Bingham, Shane Murdoch, Harry Christie and Tim Hosking, and for the Sharks, Richie Oliver, captain. Steve Anastasiou was withdrawal with a calf injury. He's also got a finger injury. Matthew Elliott, absolutely magnificent with a big 133 in the City innings. Will Collins, Henry Collins, Cody Irvine, Adam Marsland, Logan Taylor, Byron Taylor. Back to the action now as drivers in again. Bolster Murdoch through the cover region. They take one. He's eager for a second on this occasion. The throw comes into the keeper's end. He has to work hard. The big dive. The appeal with the umpire adjudicating to the favour of Shane Murdoch with a big dive there on that occasion, Josh, to make sure ground.
Yeah, he was pretty keen to get back for two, wasn't he, Murdoch? And their last two overs, City, they were pretty happy. Just gone for 10 all up in those 2 overs after going at 10 over for the first 3. So they'll be happy they've pegged it back. And that boundary, of course, from Driver, last ball of his first over, sort of blew that out as well. So the last 2 overs have been good for City. That's limiting the damage.
As Drivers in again, Bolster Murdoch. He drags this one across to the onside. There's a misfield at mid-wicket. They take the one, but once again, sold to Lamaki. And whilst not taking it cleanly, perhaps prevented 2 or 3 on that occasion. And Murdoch continues to rotate the strike around. So we just wonder who from Newtown and Chewell might be able to provide them Ross Elliott-like innings. Maybe it's this man on strike at the moment, Chisholm, as Driver is adhering to a line outside off stump, and Chisholm not able to beat Logan Taylor at cover point.
Just got the 3 fielders outside the circle now. Where's now that the 6 overs are up? There's a deep square leg, deep mid-wicket, and deep long on. So you expect Driver once again targeting the stumps.
Driver again. This is wider outside off stump. Quicker ball, in fact, deemed to be too wide outside off stump for umpire Trevor Anderson. And another run added to the Newtown and Chewell tally. They move along to 1 for 55. I think the thing about the South Bowen ground, though, is, Josh, is that it is a ground where you can score heavily in a short period of time as Drivers bowling to Chisholm. That's a fine shot to the right of Logan Taylor, and that races away to the boundary here at South Bowen. And he is really starting to gain some momentum.
I hate to be critical, Wes, but it's not fantastic bowling with that field set. So the field is set very straight, as I mentioned, with a deep backward square leg, mid-wicket, and long on back. There's no one out in the offside, and these last 2 deliveries offering width to Chisholm, and he's too good of a play to miss out on that.
He has another opportunity facing Driver, and that's a slower ball. Bobbled a little bit there on Solder Lamakia. We were in direct line with the pathway that ball was travelling, and it almost deceived him. Good crowd starting to build down here at South Bowen now, which is terrific as Drivers in, bowls to Chisholm, who drives and can't beat the man at mid-off. So dot ball to finish that Tom Driver over. And 1 for 59, Newtown and Chewell. Plenty of work ahead in pursuit of 187, Geelong City earlier today. Let's go through the scorecard. Cody Irvine was the first man out for 5 from 9 balls. He was caught by Hosking from the bowling of Jacko Davis. And then Richie Oliver was bowled Murdoch for 30 from 40 balls. That included 3 boundaries that innings. Tom Driver unfortunately failed to score. He was out from 2 balls. And then Matty Elliott made 10 from 8 balls. He joined the man of the game to this point in time, and that is Ross Elliott. 133 from 70 balls, 9 fours, 10 sixes. Quite a spectacular innings as we see Byron Taylor bowls to Murdoch, who gets it away forward of the point region. They take 1. Cody Irvine comes off the boundary, throws to the keeper's end. And Newtown and Chewell 1 for 60. Been a good couple of weeks for Ross Elliott. Josh, he's made 75, which is, I believe, was his highest first 11 score, and then spanked a big 142 against St. Joey's last week, and then came out today 133 not out.
He's just maturing as a cricketer, isn't he? He's getting to that age where he probably knows his game.
George Chisholm to mid-wicket. The man comes off the boundary, just the 1.
And he's an imposing figure, isn't he? He's a guy who has a bit of presence about him, and he certainly used that to his advantage today. Some of those sixes he hit, 10 sixes, was it 9?
10 sixes, 9 fours. He's a very clean hitter, Josh.
Very, very clean hitter. Some of them were massive sixes too.
Murdoch is hoping to replicate that form, but that one once again keeping low and just making it a little bit difficult for the left-hander, who's been a fantastic contributor to the Geelong Cricket Association scene this year. He made a ton earlier this year himself. boy from Bendigo, premiership player last year, came down, plays a bit of footy too, played out at Thompson. Taylor to Murdoch. This is guided away. That's a fine shot. The race is on. Jacob Nolan down. Nice slide. And makes sure that two runs certainly saved there on that occasion by Jacob Nolan. So Murdoch progresses the score to 1 for 63.
Good bowling from Taylor. He's just taking the pace off the ball now and bowling wide of off stump. He's got protection on that side of the field.
Taylor in again to Murdoch. Driven through the offside field. There's a man coming off the long off boundary. That's Logan Taylor. Oh, could be a run out at the keeper's end. And there we have it. The direct hit. The throw came in from Logan Taylor, taken by Byron Taylor, who threw the stumps. I think he might have been throwing to Ross Elliott, but in fact he hit the stumps, and that is the end of George Chisholm. Bit of confusion for Lieutenant Chilwell, and Chisholm is on his way, and that's a massive blow for the two Blues.
Huge. He was the one, wasn't he, after Clark, who needed to be the man for Newtown, you just feel, and that's a huge wicket. Another great bit of fielding. They're on the field today, the Sharks. They're obviously switched on. Big miscommunication, looking for two. Was never really on. The ball was hit powerfully out to deep cover, so it was always a risk. Miscommunication nearly ended up at the same end at one point, and the direct hit in the end from Taylor from the non-striker's end did the job.
Probably did himself a disservice hitting it so forcefully to the man at mid-off or mid-on and coming off the boundary, Logan Taylor.
It's probably a flow-on effect from not being able to find the boundary consistently the last 3 or 4 overs, Wes. They started off with the run rate, being very competitive, but the last 3 overs and four overs really, it's been pegged back a little bit. Only found the boundary twice in the last 4 overs, and that's just probably an effect of that, just trying to turn 2 into something that probably wasn't there.
So Cooper Bingham comes to the crease. Cooper Bingham has had some terrific contributions for the two Blues across the course of this summer. He likes to go after the bowling, which no doubt he needs to do today. So the two Blues 2 for 64 as Byron Taylor continues the bowling from the northern end, and Bingham is pushing this first delivery to cover point. In fact, it might have been the throw from Collins coming off the boundary. A couple of the City boys enjoyed the long hair. They a couple of man buns feature from time to time there, Josh.
Yeah, while you've got it, might as well use it, Wes.
It's the attitude. So the Ritchie Brothers scoreboard says Lieutenant Chilwell 2 for 64. Thanks to our game day sponsors, the Geelong Advertiser, Buxton Real Estate, Pizzas with Attitude, Ritchie Brothers Auctioneers, Home House Nightclub, and Elephant Castle Hotel, and Connectel. Not forgetting, of course, that Connectel offers solutions for small business to enterprise organisations. As Driver bowls again from the northern end, and this one's driven to mid-off, and once again they take the single. Murdoch adds another run to the tally. He's up, moving along. The score 2 for 65 for Lieutenant Chilwell on the Ritchie Brothers scoreboard.
Hey, Shane. Good, mate.
Driver again. Bingham lets this one pass outside off stump. Uses great variation in his pace, Josh. Tom Driver.
He does. You see Ross Elliott just calling for the helmet, as you mentioned that. Wes, so I suspect he might have been coming up to the stumps here if Driver's going to continue to take the pace off, and he does. So just trying to keep Bingham in his crease, you say, let's get after the bowling. So it's just another tactic to just try and rein Bingham in a little bit, not letting him use his feet, particularly if Driver continues with this plan of taking the pace off the ball.
Bingham doesn't mind going big and straight. Driver. This one's down leg side. That'll be called a wide by umpire Trevor Anderson. Nice take by Ross Elliott. So Ross has been quite fortunate by the way of collecting a bit of vision of his own batting, because I've been fortunate to video both his big ton against St. Joey's and also this innings today. As a consequence, he's got something to show the grandkids. Prove that he was able to spank the ball, and he hits the ball so cleanly as he did earlier today. For those that missed it, he made 133, Ross Elliott, from 70 balls. That included 10 sixes and 9 fours.
And after he made his 100, Wes, he really exploded, didn't he?
I'm going to hand over to Mark Brunger for the commentary.
Thanks, Wes. Nice to be back again. And this is certainly 2 for 66. This stage, I think you'd fancy being Geelong City at this stage, Josh.
Absolutely, they're on top of the game at the moment, Mark, for sure.
Driver bowling to Bingham. Bingham's trying to just glide that down through the vacant slips position, but doesn't get any bat on it. And Ross Elliott continues to play a part in this game, as he has since almost the first ball of the day.
Changing the field, third man's come up to the circle now. Deep backward square leg goes out to the boundary.
Driver into Bingham. This time it's just popped up on him a little bit. Must have been the slower ball there, I think. Just got onto him. He's threw the shot a little bit too quickly there.
Yeah, Wes mentioned Bingham likes to go after the bowling, so I think you'll see a fair bit of off-speed deliveries, trying to make Bingham just create something that probably isn't there.
And Driver again throws onto the pads. There's a quick single there. It could have been a little bit touch and go there, just backward of square, but safely completed. That's another run for Newtown. And on the Ritchie Brothers scoreboard, at the end of the over, it's 2 for 67. And a big thank you to Pizzas with Attitude. 38 different varieties of pizza. Josh, how'd you go choosing on 38 different varieties?
Oh, there's plenty of choice. It's what you want from a pizza, isn't it, Mark?
I thought they only made Aussie pizzas. Quick quiz question. Pineapple on pizza?
Yes, for me.
Okay, yes, good. You're a good man. You can stay in the commentary spot now. So 2 for 66. The target here is a very imposing one. And Geelong City today on the back of that Ross Elliott batting bonanza. 188 is needed here by Newtown, and they'd be starting to feel the pressure, I think, a bit now, as Bingham tries to force that one through the gully region, but fielded there and no run. These dot balls, Josh, are becoming very crucial at the moment.
Yeah, just 9 runs off Byron Taylor's bowling so far. It's the first ball of his third over, just 9 runs off, and Bingham 1 off 8 now for him, so just needs to turn the strike over a little bit more.
Taylor in now, and Bingham's looking to go down the ground. He drives, but there is a long off there, and he'll safely complete the fielding there. And one more to the Newtown total. They go on to 2 for 67, and that is on the Ritchie Brothers scoreboard. Big crowd here today. I think it's equal to last year, and might actually be a little bit more than last year, as Taylor comes in now and onto the back foot and just playing it safely out into the covers is Adrian Saltamacchia, and they get through for the single. Sorry, Murdoch, I beg your pardon. Murdoch is the batsman there. He's looking at the wrong team sheet, Josh, but don't tell anyone. Murdoch's on 17 and Bingham's on 2. I don't claim to be a professional. Taylor in now, and Bingham's looking to drive that one. It might have just come off the inside edge of the bat, and he was very lucky it didn't collect his woodwork on the way through.
This is good bowling from Taylor. Just face off a little bit more now. Bingham struggling, 2 off 10. Now he'll be feeling it, make no doubt about it. He'll know he needs to just tick the strike over a little bit more. Maybe not smash a boundary, but just hit the 1s and 2s. Taylor
to Bingham, and Bingham's just trying to guide that one through gully again. But straight to the field. Just can't find the right angle on them at the moment, can he?
It's good bowling, good execution from Taylor though. It's a good field, and it's good execution too. So he's got mid on and mid off back and deep backward square leg. So as I keep saying, he's bowling at the stumps and just trying to force Bingham to make a mistake.
Taylor ringing again to Bingham, and Bingham's playing this one off the pads, plays it straight down the wicket to Taylor in his follow through, and that's the end of the over. And Newtown 2 for 68 on the Ritchie Brothers scoreboard. And Ritchie Brothers sponsoring our scoreboard today. Great to have them along, as is to Home House, Geelong's premier nightclub venue. If you're looking for a night out, get out to Home House and see how the young people party. It's been a long time since I've gone out to see how the young people party. Josh, maybe you might be better to comment on that than me.
No comment. No, Mark.
Very diplomatic.
Church mouse, I am.
Ah, yes, I've heard that before.
Good over from Taylor. That change the subject pretty quickly, Mark. two off that over. Very, very intelligent bowling. As I say, it was a good field set for him, but the execution was very good. Just 11 runs off his 3 overs for Byron Taylor now. As I say, Cooper Bingham 2 off 12. And Murdoch is 17 off 26.
And another member of the Man Bun Brigade coming into the attack for Geelong City. Henry Collins coming in from the Bow and Heads end. I think the team runner might be suggesting that he's going to take the scissors to some of these boys and give them a bit of a haircut. But it's all the rage these. Oh, I can see why too. Hello, Mr. Kojak. I didn't see you there. Yes, I know the feeling. I'm getting close to that myself, hence the cap. All right, Henry Collins is waiting here at the moment, and on strike is Shane Murdoch. He's waiting for spin to come into the attack now. First delivery, and he's pulled that, or tried to pull it. It's got the bottom edge and just hit the turf straight in front of him, and no score. First time we've seen spin into the attack this afternoon. It'll be interesting to see what happens in terms of the game here. Next delivery from Collins and defended by Murdoch. You think that Bingham might actually like a bit of spin into the attack here. It might give him just what he's looking for.
It's their chance. Their chance to. They need a big over. Now, mate, they've had a bit of a sparse time of it recently. They need a big over here.
Murdoch pulls forward of the square leg umpire. There is a floater out there or a sweeper, and they're through for one. And young Ross Elliott made to work a little bit hard there on the return, but 2 for 68, 2 for 69, I beg your pardon, on the Ritchie Brothers scoreboard. And here we get to see what will happen here. Cooper Bingham on strike now to Henry Collins. Let's see if he tries to go after him here, or whether he'll pay him a little bit of credit and just have a look at him and see what he's doing. As Collins comes in now, right arm over the wicket, and immediately the intentions of Cooper Bingham become apparent as he tries to pull that one through mid-wicket, but he hits it straight to the fielder, but they do get one.
Bit of a drag down from the young leggy. It was a bit of a rank long hop in the end, but as you say, no damage really done, just a single to the man on the circle at mid-wicket.
Next one, and it's just tickled through the slips area down to the fielder there at, I suppose you call that a short third man almost, is what I'll go with.
Yep. It's just a big ball now, Mark. Last ball of the over, no boundaries in the last three, so he's just got to bowl to his field here, damage limitation.
Let's see what Bingham can do, and he's pulling that through the onside. It won't get to the boundary though. It'll be picked up just inside there, through for one and back for two. So 2 off that ball. Probably 2 runs thankfully taken, but certainly probably needed about 4 or 6 more than that, I would think. That's the end of the over. It's the end of the 11th over now. And we're about to see another change in the bowling here by the looks of things, with Adrian Saltamakia coming into the attack. So tell us a bit about Adrian, what we can expect here. He's going off the short run.
Yep, I think he'll just stick to what the Sharks have been doing so far. Mark, it's worked well for them. They've set very straight fields, as I keep harping on them. Newtown have struggled to hit the boundary the last 6 overs now, probably even 7 overs after that. The first power play finished, they've really struggled to hit the boundary once the Geelong City allowed the extra fielders outside the perimeter. So, as I keep saying, they just need a big over here. They just need something to get them back on track, because at the moment they're falling well behind the required run rate, and they just need to find the boundary some more now.
And that's certainly dangerous in this form of the cricket to be doing that one. Saltamakia first delivery and attempt to cut from Shane Murdoch, but he doesn't connect. But if you want to connect, get to Connect-Tel, offering solutions for small business to enterprise organisations. Next delivery in now, and Murdoch connecting on that one, but he sent it straight to the fielder at point. It's bounced off him and gone to the short third man there, but it's only cost them 1 run. So 1 more to the Ritchie Brothers scoreboard. Newtown Chill will move on to 2 for 73. Cooper Bingham studying the field, and a couple of players being dispatched to the boundary at the moment.
Yep, no one out in the offside, Mark, everyone out in the leg.
He's shown a propensity for the leg side so far. He's just played that one off the pads to square leg and scurried through for a quick single. So 1 more to his tally, 1 more to Newtown, 2 for 75 on the Ritchie Brothers scoreboard. And I think it's been pretty clear that Bingham's got a bit of a penchant for the leg side. So That'd be where you want your most protection. There's a drive down the ground, very uppishly by Shane Murdoch. Bounces just in front of the fieldsman at long on. And a rifle return in there keeps it to 1 run. So 1 more to the total for Newtown and Chilwell.
No boundaries in nearly 4 overs now. Mark, the pressure's building on the two Blues here.
Next one from Saltamakia, and once again Bingham
as I
showing
say
that favourite on the leg side. He's pulled that beautifully around the corner down to the boundary for 4. Very much needed boundary, Josh.
Yep, his first. I'll say the first in nearly 4 overs for Newtown. That, as I say, once this first play finished and the field was spread, they've just struggled to find the boundary. That was a hit-me ball though on his hip, down leg side, only the 45 to beat, and did Bingham.
Saltamakia to Bingham, and he's just gliding that through the slips, but the third man is up, and he will field that, and there's no run. End of the over, and on the Ritchie Brothers scoreboard, it's 2 for 80. Newtown and Chilwell in chase of 189 to win this contest, and you would think that that is looking mighty unlikely at the moment, Josh.
Yep, I'd certainly rather be with the Sharks at the moment. Mark, that they're well on top of the game. I just feel this is a big over. They've just got to target the young leggy now, Collins. I think they've just got to go after him. If they go out here, if Murdoch goes out here, it's for for a good cause, I think.
Well, he certainly hit that down the ground. He sent it straight to the fieldsman, and Adrian Saltamakia takes the catch at deep cover there, and he's picked up the wicket of Shane Murdoch. He is caught, and that is the third Newtown and Chilwell wicket to fall, with the score on 80 for the Ritchie Brothers scoreboard. And I think the task is now starting to look a little bit beyond Newtown now. I think it's fair to say that Geelong City have got one hand on the trophy as we speak.
Yep, superb execution again from the Sharks. They set their fields and the bowlers bowled to it. The pressure was just building on the two Newtown batsmen. Murdoch, I mentioned, just had to go, then had to try and find the boundary. This could only toe end it to cover in on the circle. So now it's a huge task for Newtown. That was their in batsman. So now they restart again with 2 relatively fresh batsmen. So this will be a bit of a test now.
Okay, a new batsman coming in is John Simpson, who's coming in now to join Cooper Bingham out there, and really these two are going to have to go very, very hard if they're to get their team back into this game, and the way that Geelong City have bowled, I don't think they're going to give them that chance.
Yep, a couple of Geelong College boys, Mark, they played a lot of cricket with each other, Simpson and Bingham. They've got a huge task ahead of them though now. So once again, looking at this field, just Richie Oliver, the Sharks captain, the only man out on the offside. He's stationed himself at long off, everyone else out on the leg.
Collins bowls the first ball to Simpson, and he just plays it safely out into the covers, has a bit of a look, and the wicket taker goes back to his mark, Collins, and he's about to come in right arm over the wicket, and this one is played to mid-on by John Simpson. In fact, it'll be fielded by Long on there, and they're through for a single. 3 for 81 now on the Ritchie Brothers scoreboard. Great to have Ritchie Brothers on board as part of this broadcast. Henry Collins in again now, and he's being launched for a big, big 6. That is a lovely shot by Cooper Bingham. He has dispatched that.
Yep, great shot. Tossed up from Collins, brave bit of bowling. It's a great shot by Bingham. Got every single piece of that right over the shed there onto the opposing, the Marshall home ground. Great shot over wide, long on.
And his team's going to need an awful lot more of that as Collins comes in again now. And this time he's pulling him towards the square leg boundary. And we'll wait on the call for the umpire. That's 4 runs. So Cooper Bingham has decided the time has arrived for him to have a crack.
Yep, not a great ball that from Collins. Waist high full toss. Thought for a moment that it was going straight down the throat, a deep backward square leg. Bit of a top edge from Bingham. Placed it well enough.
Next one from Henry Collins. He's seen 2 balls sail to the boundary in this over. And this one's pulled by Cooper Bingham. Backward of square leg, and it runs into the fence for 4 more. So a very, very good over for Newtown there. They move to 3 for 95 on the Ritchie Brothers scoreboard. And it's now or never, Josh.
Yep, absolutely. But that's what they need. I mentioned they probably needed to target Collins a little bit more, and they did it. There was good batting by Bingham. Just targeting that leg side boundary. Got 2 4s and a 6 away in that over. So just need to continue this run now. Simpson probably needs to do the right thing here and get his partner back on strike. Bingham's firing now. I think Simpson's just got to get him back on strike. Hit the gaps, hit the ones.
Josh, you old enough to remember Fleetwood Mac? Before your
just
time?
a bit before my time, Mark.
Big fan of Fleetwood Mac, and the Gypsy Fleetwood Mac tribute show is coming up on Sunday, February the 25th at the Elephant and Castle Hotel from 3:30. Get along and hear some great tunes from the Gypsy Fleetwood Mac tribute band there at the Elephant and Castle. A bit of, Dreams, a bit of Don't Stop, and a few of those other classics. But then again, I am showing my age. That's a rank full toss, and that got all the treatment it deserved as Cooper Bingham smacked it to the boundary for 4.
Yep, so I mentioned Simpson needed to get Bingham back on strike. He did first ball the over, and then Bingham off the second ball of the over. So he was 2 off 12, remember. Now he's 28 off 21. So he's really recovered here, Cooper Bingham, after some early struggles.
And that brings up the 100 for Newtown and Chilwell. Also 3 for 100 on the scoreboard now. So very, very important milestone for them, and certainly one that now signifies that they could be in with a chance here. If these two can open the shoulder blades a bit more, then they might put themselves right back in this game. So next delivery, and it's driven straight to cover. What a fantastic catch has been taken there to dismiss the batsman. Absolutely beautiful catch there to dismiss Cooper Bingham, and that is a huge wicket for City to pick up Bingham. He was just starting to look very dangerous.
Yeah, and just as you start to feel that Newtown are perhaps getting themselves back on track, they lose their in batsman, just as they did with Murdoch a few overs ago. Now Bingham goes for another score in the 20s, and yeah, this is nearly the death knell for the two Blues, unfortunately, now, I think.
Yes, it's looking a very forlorn situation here now. 4 for 100 on the Ritchie Brothers scoreboard, and with a very big score to be chased down here, I think we can almost safely say that it looks like Geelong City will be the champions in the T20 Cup. I know T20 can be very unpredictable, Josh, but it would be something just shy of a miracle, I think, if they're going to get out of this one.
Yeah, absolutely. As I say that, they've lost their batsmen who were just starting to fire, so at least they need to start again now, and it's just they don't have time to lose here, so it's going to be tough for Newtown now.
I think this is Eves Rusity that's come out to face his first ball, and he has been clean bowled comprehensively for no score. That is a classic golden duck. So Eves Rusity on his way on the very first ball he faced, and I think we're just delaying the inevitable now. This one looks as though it's done and dusted.
Yep, just speared in, left arm around the wicket, straight and full at the stumps. Your missile hits the old adage, Mark, and that was certainly what happened there, just playing across relatively straight ball, hit the base and middle stump in the end.
Matthew Elliott really doing the job here for his team. He's got 2 wickets in this over, and they're 2 very important wickets, so he would be feeling very, very good about himself at the moment. As we see Eves Rusity coming off the ground. Unfortunately, not troubling the scorers today. And the new batsman coming out is number 5, which is Harry Christie, coming out to face the music. And hat-trick ball here.
Well, we've seen everything today, haven't we?
Absolutely. Balls in trees and Lord only knows what else.
And an extraordinary knock from Ross Elliott. Wouldn't a hat-trick just complete this carnival of cricket this afternoon?
Here it is, hat-trick ball. Matt Elliott bowling, and well defended. Harry Christie. No sense of occasion. Although I'm sure his team will be very thankful for that. 5 for 100 on the Ritchie Brothers scoreboard. Next one from Elliott. His left arm around the wicket and looking to drive down the ground. Here's Harry Christie. He manages to do that. Mid-on comes in, or long-on comes in to do the fielding. And they're through for a single. So the end of that over. is 5 for 101 on the Ritchie Brothers scoreboard. And don't forget the Elephant and Castle Hotel, the Australian Robbie Williams tribute show. That'd be more your speed, wouldn't it, Josh? A bit of Robbie Williams?
I'm actually off to see Robbie Williams in a couple of weeks' time.
Are you going to see him at the Elephant and Castle, are you? Or?
I might pop in before then, just get a taste of things.
Saturday, July 21st, the Australian Robbie Williams tribute show at the Elephant and Castle, 9:30 p.m. till midnight. So get along there and enjoy some great live music and some great tunes by Robbie Williams. Saltamaki are back into the attack now, and that's a full toss, or turned into a full toss by the batsman. Just coming forward to play that, and Christie punishes that down the ground and fielded by long off, and they're through for a single. Saltamaki turns, coming in now to bowl, and tried to pull it away into the onside, but just not quite getting hold of it. But good enough position to get to for John Simpson, who's out there now batting. As you said before, wickets are crucial here. You've got two new batsmen out here now, and slows things down just a little bit more.
Yep, both batsmen have faced less than 5 balls today.
Saltamaki bowls, can't get it away. So another dot ball. The pressure increases just that little bit more now on Newtown here. Saltamaki at the end of his mark, coming in, right arm spinner, and down the wicket a couple of paces, and just off the outside edge of the bat, I think, going towards point where it's fielded, but they do manage to get through for a quick single. So one more to the total, takes it on to 5 for 105 for Ritchie Brothers, and Saltamaki now coming in for his next delivery, and just quietly played into the onside through mid-wicket there. There's no fielder in there, so the fielder from fine leg or short fine leg needs to come around. That's Adam Marsland there to do the fielding, and one more to the total, takes it on to 106. Next Saltamaki delivery, he's in now, and it's just being eased through the slips for another single. So good over for Newtown there, a few more runs on the board, and the single there to John Simpson. So at the end of that over, it's 5 for 107 on the Ritchie Brothers scoreboard. And as I mentioned, I think Geelong City have got one hand on that Premiership Cup. I think it might actually be 1.5 now.
Yep, absolutely. Just 6 off that over again from Saltamaki. It was just good bowling once again, good execution. No one out in the offside, apart from the captain, Richie Oliver, at deep long off, but just bowled very well, bowled at the stumps, just trying to force Newtown to take risks, just trying to will them to hit over mid-wicket and straight, trying to get a catch on the boundary.
Well, Josh, it's looking like a forlorn task. I've just been handed by our scorers 81 needed from the next 30 deliveries. So this is going to take some real big hitting from these the lower end of the Newtown order. We'll see what transpires. So 5 overs to go, and on strike is John Simpson, and I think we might have a change of bowler here for Newtown. Or is that Elliott going to the other end? Tom Driver coming in from the Breakwater Road end. He's bowling to Simpson, and Simpson's just cutting that nicely to Gully. There is a fieldsman there. He's pretty deep, so they're able to get away for a single. There's an overthrow, so they're going to get an extra run out of it. What should have only been 1 there, Josh. Should not have been 2.
Yeah, not a great bit of fielding from Taylor. Just wide of the keeper. Wasn't a great throw. Got an extra run, as you say, that they shouldn't have got.
Next delivery from Driver, bowling to Simpson, and Simpson's trying to cut that again, but they beaten by the pace and through to the keeper.
Yeah, wide called. Just must have been just wide of the guiding line, but you'll see a lot of that from Tom Driver. I think this over his last of his full quota, taking the pace off the ball once again to Simpson.
He's in again, and Simpson this time is pulling that over the onside. There is a sweeper out there, and he'll prevent it from going to the boundary. A single for Simpson, and on the scoreboard for Ritchie Brothers, which has just momentarily disappeared from our screen, so we'll get that for you in just a moment. 5 for 111 is the score there at the moment for Ritchie Brothers, and Driver About to bowl to Harry Christie now. He's with us, and Christie's looking to play that down the leg side. Got a nice little tickle on it. And it heads down to... Oh, actually, no, it's not come off the pad. So, leg buys. It's a call there from the umpire. Score to 112. But importantly, changing the strike over. That's important too for these two batsmen to try and keep the strike ticking over. Drivers in again. Bowling to Simpson. And Simpson's just been tied up by that a little bit, and it's gone past the hands of the keeper. Or no, leg by, so it's come off his pad as well. But by gee, that tied him up in knots.
Yeah, clever bowling. I think Simpson was expecting the slow ball again. That was the first ball he's bowled at full pace. That over from Tom Driver. I think it surprised Simpson, wrapped him on the pads, and not the worst shot, I don't reckon either. Just touch height.
Here we go, Driver coming in again now to Christie, and he's driving that beautifully down the ground, down to long on. But unfortunately for Newtown, City have a fielder place there, so they'll only get the one. On to 114 now for the loss of 5 wickets, thanks to our scoreboard sponsors, Ritchie Brothers. And Simpson back on strike now to Driver, and he's playing this one, gliding it through towards gully where the fieldsman is. And once again, the gully fielder probably a little bit deep there, so it's a fairly deep gully, and it allows a single. But I suppose at this stage of the game, Josh, they really don't care if they're going to concede a few singles, Geelong City.
No, singles aren't going to win the game for Newtown. They need boundaries, and lots of them. I think it's... well, if they pull this off now, it'll be something extraordinary. It's you wouldn't have seen too much before. So yeah, they've got the men who are on the circle are right back on the paint. No need for them to be encroaching any further, because ones and twos won't hurt them at this stage.
Change of bowler here though. Henry Collins is switching around to the other end now at the end of this over. Wes Cusworth will be back in to the commentary spot to take you through to the end. Henry Collins bowling now to Simpson. Simpson down the wicket a couple of paces, driving through the covers nicely. The sweeper's having to come around from long off. He does so, but not before they get through for another 2 runs to the Newtown total. They move on to 5 for 117 now for Ritchie Brothers. And whilst it's a nice little partnership and scoring, it's just not enough at the moment, as the next delivery down the wicket again and driving again through the covers, this time a bit square up. And the sweeper out there on the boundary does the work. And one more run to the total, and on to 118 now. 4-5. Henry Collins again prepares to bowl to Harry Christie. He's with us now, and Christie once again going through the cover region. The deep cover gets around and fields nicely there, only keeps it to 1. So 119 now the score. And Cody Irvine fielding well out there in the deep cover position. Henry Collins in again, down the wicket and driven straight down the ground. It's off the bowler's hand, and that is out. That is run out. Absolute tragedy there for Harry Christie. He was out of his ground. It's come off Henry Collins' hand, and he was found short of his crease. That's a big wicket, and it just goes to say that we've seen everything today. There's something else that we don't often see in the game of cricket.
Yep, when it's your day, isn't it, Mark? That's a real rarity. Seeing that was a firmly struck on drive, just clipping Collins' hand back onto the stumps. Unlucky for Christie. But as I say, you make your own luck, and it's certainly the Sharks' day. That's when that sort of thing happens. You just know it's you're going to be coming home with the chocolates.
Might be an opportunity to change commentary, and joining us in the commentary position, handing over to Wes Cusworth. Welcome back, Wes.
Thanks very much, Mark. Yeah, pretty much sums up Newtown and Chilwell's day after they were subjected to amazing innings by Ross Elliott earlier today. Here's Collins again, and Simpson is driving this to mid-off, or long off, and just the 1 run allowed, and the Sharks won't mind that at all. Coming on to strike, Jackson Davis. And of course you can see tomorrow's Geelong advertiser for Josh Conway's wrap of today, which will be fantastic reading. Oh, that's a nice shot by Davis, over the top. Now, that is a very interesting situation with the ball striking the tree, which overhangs the ground. I'm pretty sure the umpires will adjudicate that is 6. The effort there by the Sharks fieldsman.
I think it's Tom Driver. He caught more of the tree branch and he did the ball in the end, whereas he's nearly pulled the whole thing down with him as he flew for the catch. It was a good effort, but the tree Tree got in his way.
Nice little crowd gathered around the ground now too, I might add. Josh, it's we do have retrieved the ball and the umpires have adjudicated.
Yep, good to see that the support of local cricket, Wes, as he described it before very aptly. It is a real carnival of cricket this afternoon with 3 games, small 3 divisions going on. Good to see plenty of people and families, for that matter too, out on a nice Sunday afternoon.
And of course, if you are watching the live stream and thinking about heading down, you will see the second division game as Elliott bowls to Simpson, and he's not making any contact, not able to get that one away. So into the 4th final over. Elliott to Simpson, full ball, digs it out to the man at deep cover point, Saltalamakia. And thanks again to our sponsors, Pizzas with Attitude, Ritchie Brothers Auctioneers, Home House Nightclub, Elephant and Castle Hotel and Connectel. As Elliott bowls to Davis, who tries to replicate his shot from the previous over, not able to make any contact on that occasion. And another dot ball for Elliott. So Jacko Davis making his intentions pretty clear, as is the compulsion at this particular point in time. Elliott again. And once again, Davis not able to make any clean contact. It might have caught the pad there on that occasion. No, in fact, it is a legitimate buy. It beats Ross Elliott as well. And another run added to the tally. 6 for 128, Newtown and Chilwell in pursuit of Geelong City's 187. Matthew Elliott, left arm finger spin. Simpson drags it across the mid-wicket. They take one. They'll have to settle for that. Driver comes off the boundary and throw to the keeper's end. And one of our sponsors today, Connectel, where a highly trained team of experts can provide solutions for all your communications and data needs. We thank Connectel for their support of our live stream coverage today. Elliott again. Davis is missing this one, and once again it races away. Jacob Nolan does the fielding, and another bye added. Blustery conditions here today, Josh.
Yes, you can probably hear it in the effects mic. Very blowy this afternoon.
So, of course, presentations to follow on the live stream at the completion of the 20th over. There are 3 overs remaining in this particular contest. It's looking to go the way of the Sharks, as Saltalamakia will pick up the action from the northern end, pushing into a little blustery breeze. Good to see both South Barwon and Marshall doing really well with the catering, which is fantastic. And the beneficiaries of Pizzas with Attitude sponsorship for today's live stream coverage will be the players from both sides, as they are invited to remain behind after the game, as Pizzas with Attitude will be bringing down some pizzas post-game for the players to just relax and enjoy a meal after the game. That's Jackson Davis driving down the ground. Long off, comes off the boundary, and only the 1 run added.
Just a quick update for you, Wes, on, you mentioned the GCA 2 T20 Grand Final. That's just got underway. 2 overs gone, Marshall, and none for 11.
None for 11. Marshall on their home deck. As Simpson down the ground on this occasion. And once again, just the dot ball added.
Up against Torquay, I should add as well. The Tigers.
Salts. Davis gets hold of this one. That's a big shot over mid-wicket, and that's why parked my car well away from the ground today, hoping to avoid any sort of damage. We're talking earlier about the Elephant and Castle Hotel, the upcoming Australian Robbie Williams tribute show, Saturday, July 21 from 9:30 p.m. till midnight. Should be quite a spectacular show. 6 for 138, chasing 187. And it would need continued form from Jackson Davis, boundaries of that nature, sixes of that nature, to get close, but he'll be going down trying, no doubt. Tries to get hold of this one. This one's a bit straighter. Collins comes around from long on and limits it to just the 1 run.
He's struck the ball cleanly, hasn't he, Wes, in his 7 balls that he's faced so far in his innings, Davis. Come out swinging and Middle a couple so far.
You just wonder if he might have been better value further up the order as Simpson gets hold of this one that flies away backward of point. Coming around is Logan Taylor and takes the Two Blues take just the one run. And of course the Two Blues taking pretty much all day, late into the day to run down South Barwon's telly yesterday. Graham Clark a big ton as Davis once again goes long, and that is over the fence again. Jacko Davis striking the ball absolutely magnificently.
I think you're right, Wes. I think he might have been better suited to, well, at least a position high, maybe even two, the way he's hitting this ball. Perhaps Geelong City have eased off the accelerator just a fraction, but he's come out and, as I say, he struck the ball sweetly. It's his second six and a big one over wide long on to finish the over.
Jackson Davis adding a bit of interest there to the game as 6 for 146. A 19th over to begin. So 12 balls remaining and 41 runs to win. And that's a really wide delivery and almost a stumping by Elliott. He misses, and the wide and the run. So 2 runs added on that occasion. So 6 for 148. So there's an even 40 runs required for victory from 12 balls. It would be something of a miracle. It would certainly make for some entertainment. Davis on strike. Shorter ball, wide ball, and almost spooned to cover. Cody Irvine takes the catch, and that is an underwhelming way for Jackson Davis, who was providing such an entertaining innings, for his innings to come to a close, Josh.
It was probably the worst ball of the day, Wes. It was a complete drag down from Collins, and all Davis has done is just hit it straight into the hands of cover, who was on the edge of the circle. I'd say he's got a right grin on his face too as he walks off, Jacko Davis. He knows he's a bit stiff there.
Entertaining by Jackson Davis. And Will Simpson comes to the crease. Will's typically up the order, Josh. Probably not really his game, the swashbuckling.
I was going to say he's a correct player, isn't he?
Yeah.
Well, he's probably not his situation. Not that I don't think anyone who comes in now will be able to do much with the situation as it lies at this stage.
Yeah, still 40 runs required. And 10 balls to go. And he tries to put this one away. Sorry, I've got the overcount wrong, so just 4 balls. So that's a good shot by Simpson. Deep into the outfield. Oh, and instead of pull up, just short of the boundary. A nice catch by Tom Driver low down. So once again, as we mentioned, Josh, not really Will Simpson's game, is it?
No, he just had to swing in that situation, didn't he? Had no other option. But been impressed by Henry Collins. Hasn't been afraid to toss the ball up, which isn't an easy thing for any leg spinner to do, let alone in a 2020 grand final. He showed some bravery. He's tossed the ball up and he's been rewarded with a couple of wickets now. All the Sharks bowlers have been impressive. They always impress, don't they, Wes? You see a lot more of them than I do, but they just execute plans very, very well. They're not the most overly complicated plans, but they execute them very well.
Well, it's quite unheralded, the Geelong City attack. There's a straight drive on this occasion. They take one, so that's another run added for John Simpson. We are in actual fact the final over. I just had a miscalculation there, unfortunately. So, of course, the game is going to go the way of Geelong City Sharks. Richmond Crescent will be the recipient of our T20 Geelong Advertiser Cup. Punched into the offside field square of the wicket by Tim Hosking. So not quite the thrilling finish, Josh, that we were hoping for, but nonetheless plenty of entertainment in this T20 Grand Final. Collins again. Spooned into the outside field. And casually Sotolamachia comes off the fence to field it. And that is our contest here. The Geelong Advertiser T20 Cup goes the way of the Geelong City Sharks. We'll have the presentations in just a few moments' time. Mark Brungle will talk you through that. And Josh Conway, please stay. But thank you so much. I just wanted to thank you for joining us as part of the commentary team today.
No worries, Wes. Been a pleasure. Thanks very much.
And Mark's just doing a little bit of homework. So we'll have the presentations coming up in a few moments. Mark will put the headset back on and shortly be back into the action.
Well, there we are, the end of the Geelong Advertiser T20 Cup, and it sees it going the way of Richmond Crescent and Geelong City. A big thank you to our sponsors. Wes Cusworth coming up with the presentation shortly, but we thank the Geelong Advertiser, Buxton Real Estate, Pizzas with Attitude, Ritchie Brothers Auctioneers who have sponsored our scoreboard today, Home House Nightclub, Elephant and Castle Hotel, and also Connectel for their of this event today. We certainly hope you've enjoyed it. Just having a bit of a look back, City setting a very imposing 188 for victory for Newtown to chase down, and that was on the back of a magnificent 133 by Ross Elliott. He really did put on a clinic here today. 133 off just 70 balls and sixes to all parts of the ground. 10 sixes, 9 fours in that inning, so just shows you the dominance of Ross Elliott. Richie Oliver, 30 off 40 balls, and he hit 3 fours, were the two prime batsmen for City today in that 187, the majority of that being Ross Elliott. In the bowling department, Clark taking 1 for 31 off his 4 overs and Davis taking 1 for 43 off his 4 overs were the only two bowlers for Newtown to have any success today. The other wicket, of course, being a run out. And in reply, Newtown, well, they just didn't quite get the start they wanted. They were tied down very, very early. Lots of dot balls, couldn't really get anything away off the square, and that really was a telling factor in the end. But a lot of players getting a start for Newtown. Chisholm, the captain, he was 33 off 34. Bingham, 28 off 22. Very entertaining innings from him. Murdoch, 21 off 34 before he fell. And young Davis, a very entertaining knock of 20 off 9. But unfortunately, just too many runs on the day for Newtown to chase down. Collins taking 3 wickets for City, and Elliott taking 2 wickets for them as well, and 3 run-outs, which probably is the story of the day, as we now cross over to Wes Cusworth for the presentation.
Geelong Advertiser T20 Cup. Many of you, the crowd in particular, will be mindful of the attempt to live stream today. We did have some technical issues, but we do thank those people that are throwing their support from a business sense behind initiatives such as supporting the Geelong Advertiser T20 Cup. So we thank Buxton Real Estate, Pizzas with Attitude. The players will be the recipients of the pizzas provided as part of the sponsorship upon completion of getting changed. Ritchie Brothers Auctioneers, Home House Nightclub, Elephant and Castle Hotel and Connectel. So thank you for those businesses for supporting us. I think it's appropriate to pay tribute to the two sides that have made their way through to the T20 Geelong Advertiser Cup. And at this particular point in time, we thank Newtown and Chilwell. Despite going down today, they were obviously competitive right throughout the course of the series in terms of qualifying. And today they were outplayed, obviously. But nonetheless, let's put our hands together in appreciation for Newtown and Chilwell. The first awards go to the umpires. We congratulate them on their appointment to this game, and we thank them and ask them to come forward and receive their medallions. Please thank the umpires. Geelong City's win today was set up by the exploits of the man of the match, and that, of course, is Ross Elliott. 10 sixes. It's been a good few weeks for Ross. 75 against Lara, 142 against St. Joey's, 133 from 70 balls today, including 10 sixes and 9 fours. He is a worthy man of the match. Let's welcome the Sharks as they come forward to receive their premiership medallions for the Geelong Advertiser T20 Cup. We begin with Henry Collins. Please congratulate Tom Driver. Matthew Elliott. Ross Elliott. Please put your hands together for Cody Irvine. We congratulate Adam Marsland. Please put your hands together for Jacob Nolan. We congratulate Adrian Sotolamacchia. Byron Taylor. And Logan Taylor. Scorer Gary Akino. And 12th man Alex Ingalls. Let's call forward Captain Richie Oliver and Coach Aaron Randall. And now, Richie, if you'd like to stay out here, Buxton Geelong Cricket Association President Barry McFarlane with a presentation of the Geelong Advertiser T20 Cup to the captain and the coach. And now an opportunity for Richie Oliver to say a few words.
Thanks, Wes, and great job to you and all the GCA media guys throughout this competition and today. Top draw, mate. Hope everybody has enjoyed it. Commiserations to Newtown. Hopefully the two best teams played off, I feel, today. And I think they got a score that I thought would have been around par. But we got the big babe there who just played a phenomenal knock. You know, I don't think there would have been much to separate these teams apart from a special performance like that today. So well done to our boys on making it. Thanks to everybody behind the scenes. And let's get around the big babe tonight. Cheers.
Just a reminder that Pizzas with Attitude will be bringing down pizzas for players on both sides. They sponsor both clubs and they've been thrilled to be supportive of today's venture. Thanks very much for your attention during the course of the presentation and continued form for both sides throughout the remainder of the season. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much to our Master of Ceremonies there, Wes Cusworth, who presented the players from Geelong City. And as you can hear, there's a big cheer going up at the moment from Geelong City as they pose for their winners' photographs. Wes, do you want to just join me quickly on the microphone just as we wrap up? No doubt who the man of the match was, Ross Elliott. Really, he was the key to this game. A magnificent innings, probably one of the better T20 innings we've seen in the competition.
Yeah, fantastic, wasn't it? 70 balls, 10 sixes, 9 fours. You don't see innings like that very frequently, and I'm thrilled that we were here to witness some of that. And Mark, yeah, thanks so much for your work today. Obviously, we had a few technical issues getting on, and I was attending to that for the bulk of the day, but you did a fantastic job. Thanks to Pro Image with with the support of Haig Lindsay coming down from Shepparton to be part of that. And also Noel Fanning was our camera operator during the course of the day, and also the various people that dropped in and provided some special comments. So Mark, I'll give you the final few words.
Thanks, Wes. And also thank you to our special comments in Josh and also Chris Williams, who joined us through the course of the day. Big thank you to our sponsors, of course, the Geelong Advertiser. It is their competition. Also Buxton Real Estate, who sponsor the GCA. Pizzas with Attitude, who are, as we heard, sponsoring the pizzas for the boys. Also Ritchie Brothers Auctions, who were our scoreboard naming right sponsors today. Home House Nightclub, great spot for a night out. Also the Elephant and Castle Hotel and Connectel. We thank them very much for their sponsorship through this broadcast today. We hope you've been able to enjoy the coverage despite the few technical difficulties at the start. But these things are quite trial and error at times, but we really have enjoyed bringing it to you. So on behalf of the GCA commentary team, thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you again hopefully in the GCA finals, and good afternoon.